shop in North Georgia. Well, today's project is this ridiculously ostentatious 1980s made in China king size bed headboard. It is big and it is heavy. It's made in China. It looks to be carved walnut, but it's not. It's mostly pressed wood and whatever else they gathered around to make it. I'm sure this thing was a multi-thousand-dollar bed when it was new. This bed was damaged in moving. It was being transported in a trailer and it tipped over, and the weight of the bed did a job. The weight of this headboard did a job on itself, and it's in need of a number of repairs. This is the kind of project I really enjoy doing, the challenge of making decisions as to how we're going to go about fixing damage I enjoy. So I will bring you in close and we'll go over one by one each of the damage issues that we're going to be addressing, and we'll get started on it. And here's our first area of damage. This is where the headboard fell over and collided with something. And I hope you can see that, but there's in fact missing wood there. So this piece is going to have to be filled in with epoxy, sanded, and recolored. There's no way I can steam that out. That's not a dent, that's actually wood that's torn out. The next area is right here. This is a huge scrape. This has a little bit of wood loss and a little bit of indentation. One of the things you can do when you have wood that's crushed is try to steam it by applying a wet rag and then some heat to the wet rag, and the steam is driven into the woods and it re-expands the crushed wood fibers. And very often you can get the wood to come almost up, if not up to its normal height. The problem is when you do it on a finished surface, okay, obviously you're blasting that steam under the finish and it clouds the finish and you can damage it. There's tricks for handling that as well. But we'll see when we get started on this if we feel the need to try to steam this, or we're just going to put a light coat of wood filler in here and then color it to match. Same thing here on the side of the molding, except for this part right here. If you can see it, there's quite an indentation there. It must have hit something pretty sharp right there, so that's crushed in. So we're going to give that either try to steam that out or most probably just fill it in with wood filler, epoxy putty, and then light sand this area here and color match it. And we have a similar damage location here on the leg. And the worst damage is right here. Apparently when this fell over and it stopped, this part continued, and it's fractured the face of the headboard through this, I guess it would be a rail that's acting like a tenon that goes into the mortise of this bed headboard pillar. Now I'm going to try to lift this and see if you can see, but I'm lifting and you can see it's not split into the mortise, it's split outside the mortise, so that's good from a structural standpoint. I'm not also sure if you can see, but this is appears to be some type of fiber wood or particle board rather than a chipboard or solid wood. And I don't really like to use regular wood glue on a repair of that kind. I think it's too porous and often the surfaces are irregular. So I'm going to use epoxy. And you can see here too that this is split across the face of the headboard, and this piece is entirely unsaleable in the condition it's in. I'm doing this repair for a friend of mine who owns a used furniture store. So what my plan is to we'll put a little bit of a jack underneath this that'll spring this damage open, and I can get the crack on from both sides, then fill in here also with epoxy and using my knives to get it in as far as I can. And then anytime you're using adhesives, as you know, you need a clamping plan before you apply the adhesives. And I've checked this out, and I've got plenty of room to get good clamping pressure here, 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 and all over this piece to make sure that this repair is tight and in good shape. So that's the big part of the repair that has to be done. And then finally, on this pillar on the other side, this kind of hardware is what they use to mount the top of the of the pillar of the headboard. And it's coarse threaded on one side, fine threaded on the other side. I think they call them hanger bolts or something like that. But anyways, this gets threaded into the wood, and then using the hardware that's installed on the other piece, that gets screwed into here. This has stripped out, so when you go to put the remaining portion of the pillar on, it just spins. So what we'll need to do is we'll need to make sure that we can get this in straight. We'll epoxy around the threads, we'll push that in there, and that will hold just fine, and then we can screw the other side in. I will show you what that looks like. It's here on this bench. You can see the size of this thing and the amount of faux carving that's on it. And here's the hardware that we're going to use to install it. And there's Stuart waiting for me to accomplish something today. And here she is, all done. Apologize for the light, but I just can't move this thing one more time. But this was the split, and you can see that that's all gone. And then up here we had that big ding, and to be honest with you, I'm not even sure where that was. And we had that big scrape here, which you can really can't see any longer, and big scratches down there that are gone. And here was a piece of damaged molding that's been fixed. So here it is, and I think somebody's gonna really enjoy this. And obviously we fixed the bed posts on the other side, and that now works. So this is ready to go back to my buddy. It'll go up for sale in his shop, and hopefully it'll give somebody a number of years of good service, because it was on its way to the dump had we not fixed it. So anyways, I enjoyed making this video for you. I hope you learned something, and thanks for watching. I'd really appreciate it if you'd either like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. And I will see you next video. Best regards from North Georgia. Take care. Bye.